Yo guys, what is going on? Today is March 27th. We're going to be going over penny stocks. We're going to be going over this bloodshed of a week. It's been a pretty trash week in small caps if everyone else has been trading it. But we're going to go to the review. We're going to start with ASST. ASST was a fading stock into open. It was in the penny land. We saw a similar stock yesterday with AQB, which if we pull that up from yesterday, pull that up from yesterday. So this one, fading, it did break over a dollar, it was fading, it opened around 80 cents. We did get rotation up to pre-market high here. On ASST, best we got was garbage open and then just random pop to view up and fade. If you've been trading small caps this week, you know that up, down, no bid follow up here has been the name of the game. So basically you got to get in early and then sell at key pivotal levels, and then it just fades out. If you try to scalp this shit like I've done a couple times, you'll get bagged. So moving on to that was the only thing that happened on ASST. CISO was it CISO? Yeah, CISO. This thing has been popped up a couple times in the past week or so. Here on March 24th, we have this random pop and fade. We have it again, I think 2 days ago, March 25th. No, yesterday. This thing popped and faded again, did nothing. So what do we expect from today? You guessed it. Straight up, straight down. However, we did get this perfect pop right there. We had 6666 RIP to the devil. This was the previous high yesterday in pre-market, so obviously that's a pivotal level. It did break over that in pre-market. We did have this nice little dip here at the open, and then it pushed through VWAP, got to this level, and just ended up going straight down. Again, no bid follow-up, nothing. The second starts breaking through VWAP, things end up dying out. Rotation just does not happen. We did have a stock, PTPI. Let's look. PTPI a couple days ago. Goddamn, did not mean to do that one. PTPI did rotate later in the day. This was either yesterday or 2 days ago. Similar idea here where it just pops up and then fades all the way down, but then it holds these levels, pushes back over, kind of does this cup and handle, and then pushes forward. This was a pretty good setup throughout the day. Unfortunately, on CISO, we did not get anything remotely close to that. We got just straight fade back to essentially zero on CISO. Moving to DMN, I'm going to review a couple of these are just kind of garbage stocks. This was under 10 cents. No real volume. I'm not really going to go over it. Nothing really much to see there. DRMA. This thing, we have a lot of tickers in this $2, $3, $4 range that kind of go flat and then they get real heavy at open and then just stay heavy. We had maybe one or two earlier in the week that were heavy. They kind of pushed back up and then rotated. I kind of forget which ones those were. But the past couple of days, anything that shows weakness out of the open like this has been it just stays down here. So I've been avoiding it like the plague. Now, sometimes things kind of open up sideways and then start to push. If it doesn't start pushing within the first 5-10 minutes, it's doubtful that it'll push again, especially if it's going down like this and then getting heavy near VWAP. Big bearish play here. VWAP tries, fail. We're in a fail market, definitely not in a bull market, which kind of sucks. I think the end of the last week, beginning of this week, we had a lot of good pivotal 5-minute flags, things building. So I was getting hopeful for this week. This week has been, I think every day that's gone by has gotten progressively worse. Hopefully tomorrow it's better. But anyways, that's it for DRMA. Anything that's heavy like this just fades off. So watch out for that. GTEC, another one. So again, this is a case where it's heavy and it does rotate. It doesn't happen that often. This is more of the unique side of things. But this did push down into the daily 200 and then stayed down here, kind of like PTPI, except with the push here. Faded down, stayed flat over 2, and then pushed. We do have a nice flag here. This is probably one of the better trade setups of the day. And it was under VWAP, which I did not take because I got cooked like a brisket today, and just anything under this area, I just personally not good at trading wise, so I just stayed away from it. I told myself if it gets up over here, maybe a potential dip into VWAP and then push back maybe towards pre-market high. So we do get a nice flag here. It holds this level at 215, 216. It then breaks VWAP and goes straight up. And anytime something's going straight up in this market specifically, it's almost too late. If you're not really a breakout trader, if you're waiting for a dip, you're probably not going to fucking get it. So I actually ended up taking part of this knife here, RIP in the chat, because I wanted to be a little bit more aggressive with adding into this, hoping they would suck back up and kind of continue going. But there were no bids kind of middle of the day after 11, so it was more wishful thinking, but I thought maybe we could push back up to here. We did have MLGO running, which I thought maybe could kind of heat up things a little bit, but not the case. It did the old volcano pattern and then died out, so RIP to that. But this was a good flag here, good consolidation. If you're kind of more of a consolidation dip ad person off the daily 200, this would have been some good ads right here and here. But if you're a 5-minute flag person, this would have been nice too. It's still not over opening price, but nonetheless pretty good. GTI, I'm not going to review this. It's just kind of died off of open. LYT, another one similar to CISO. This one ran yesterday. It kind of popped yesterday a little bit. It didn't do much. And then in pre-market, it does break these key levels. We have a couple. We have a 20-cent level. We have yesterday's level at 12 cents. It opened way too high for me to even bother taking any of this. A lot of the bearish patterns have been pre-market high and death. And so with this already being here, I felt like the risk to reward was not good enough. I mean, you could see a pop, but you know, this could have just faded down into 12s and then VWAP reject and then died off. But it did push up into 17s. I actually took some. I took 2 attempts on this one. I took one here. We have a nice 5-minute flag set up over pre-market highs here at 1460, kind of like in this 14.5 area. It does dip a little bit further, which is fine. So I ended up kind of cutting it here just in case it did just die off, which we see a lot of. It breaks back up over here. I ended up taking this dip again just in case we do rotate again, and it just stalled out. So yeah, the bids suck. I'm trying my best to kind of get what I can out of this market, but it's truly, for me at least, a scalping market. Unless you get in early, which to me, I think it's really hard to kind of pick the movers in this market, and especially capture the whole move. I think it's extremely difficult. But if you're in the move and it starts going vertical, it tends to just kind of go straight up. Like this, it goes. There is no real pullback yet. One red candle in this book, but other than that, yeah, it just fades down and dies off. So RIP to that. Moving over to ME, I actually took this one off my watch list. I saw it here and I said, fuck that. And it goes. You know, it's one of those markets. Like, I bet. But this thing catches volume here. To me, I still wouldn't have traded it anywhere near here. The volume is still pretty ass, not even a mil per candle. However, that does change with this candle here. Starts pushing up. This was a nice 1-minute flag here, and then nice little kind of mini 5-minute flag there, all over the 1.9 EMA. I like to call that the 1.9 EMA wave. That's when something just keeps pushing, bouncing off the 1.9 EMA. We get that a lot. We haven't seen it a lot in this market, so not something I would trade right now. It does halt here at 115. It's in a major gap level. There's a gap from 90 to 175 on the daily. We look at that real quick. Right here. Start of it around 92, all the way up to 175. We do have this bottom out, which I didn't have on my chart because I didn't really trade it, but there's your reason. That's kind of like a pivotal level right there. Bottom of this zone. So obviously, yeah, it hits a key level and then dies off. But we do have this kind of double top here. This dip, to me, probably was, I mean, I wasn't looking at it, but I'm guessing, assuming that it was kind of choppy in this area. It did halt right here down. So just a lot of risk for not a lot of reward, but I think a lot of people did take advantage maybe early on right here. Other than that, again, you just get the straight down. So you just got to be careful. Once, if you try and take something here off VWAP maybe, or off this gap level and it doesn't work, don't keep fucking trying to claw at in this market, because this market is ass. Okay, moving on. MLGO. MLGO is the savior of this fucking market. Let's see. Really no pre-market. We do have this pop here, and then it starts to push, kind of similar to ME, where volume's very low. But once we get to here, I actually tried this a few times. I think I made the most money on this ticker today. A beautiful 5-minute flag here. You have good consolidation points right there. You have this dip over VWAP, kind of a double bottom right there. Boom, boom, boom. We have this downtrend push, your typical 5-minute bullish flag. Really nice to see this work. I mean, I scalped most of this because we're already at 14. And things can get pretty wacky, but nonetheless, it did push straight up. This is a really good trade. And then it provided even a second trade. We didn't get fully to 1970, close to 20. If you look here on the daily, so on the 25th, it got to here. The highs were 1970, pretty much 20. We get close to this point, and one of my favorite trades for if you're trying to catch the end of a move and still don't understand, if you know we're close to this point, if it starts putting in a 5-minute flag, there's clear like defined reward, which as a trader, that's what you're trying to find, is where can I buy in. So this 1680 level, I don't know how significant that is. Let's just scroll over to the left and see. So it did kind of hold this level here, not really, a little bit. So there you go, right here. The 24th, the pre-market high, I believe, was 16, around 17. So it's also 17, whole number. But you have this pre-market high level as well. So I didn't see that. I was too busy. There was so many things running, and I was all over the place. So my charting for everything is kind of dog shit, but clear, concise level. Pretty important level. So another 5-minute flag here. This nice rejection candle. This is also a very bullish setup, is when you have something like this, it doesn't break down. You have this candle right here, and it holds, and you start to push back over. This candle right here is a good add point anywhere along this candle, just because you have this clear spot right here of risk, especially it's a double bottom with this, and it hold this spot. So you know you're holding, you're risking this point, and you're gonna hold and say, well, if this breaks out, I'm gonna hold for the previous day high, which is at 1970. So you know, pretty good trade there. Of course, I was all over the place. Again, I did scalp this for some cash money, but I didn't get the whole move either time, just because I was out of wax today. But yeah, so this nice push. This is the best, definitely the best ticker of the day as far as bullish momentum. And then you get the all-day fade, RIP. So That's what you get in this market. To have two solid pushes here is unique, but MLGO has been doing its shit for a while now. So hopefully she saves the market and goes to 5 billion tomorrow. Hashtag not financial advice. But moving on, we have NVNI. I'm not going to review this one. Just the volume's too low. We do have a nice 5-minute flag here. Beautiful. I will say that. Volume is okay enough to take it down here at 25. It's also 25. You also have a pretty stay high. Really good flag. I just wasn't on my radar. OSHA, this was a multi-day runner. It ran yesterday. This was just on watch just in case it did anything. Anything that fades like this off the open tends, like 95% of the time, will just die off. PTPI, another one just on watch. There's nothing here. RGLS, I took this one off as well, which apparently I need to stop doing. But the volume did kick in kind of here. This was, to me, this is not something I would trade. But overall, an extended low volume flag. If you look at it at a higher time frame, I'm sure it looks a lot better, a lot cleaner. Yeah, so on the 5-minute, it looks really good. Then a push up to pre-market high and then reject. So a lot of pre-market highs and rejects. Again, we're in a market that's very bearish. There's not a lot of things that are breaking its pre-market highs. And the best runners are the ones that are either multi-day like MLGO or have no pre-market and just start running for no fucking reason. TDTH, this thing fell off a cliff. I don't know. I tried to look for news. I don't know what happened to it. But again, if something's doing this, stay the fuck away. TNON, I think, is probably the last one. TNON ran a couple days ago. So this is kind of like a backside bounce. It does open up and push straight into pre-market highs and fade. There was a nice little 5-minute flag here. This one was a true pain in the ass to trade if you traded it. But yeah, it didn't really do anything. Very, very annoying if you traded it. Price action was dog shit. You have this kind of downward resistance. It tries to break it. It goes straight down. It goes straight up. And then it just goes slow. Yeah, it was a pain in the ass. VVPR, last one of the day. This one ran yesterday. I don't know what it was doing. Just flat. And then I think it got news about something. And then it went straight up, straight down. Look at this shit. But anyways, that is going to be it. I have not done a review in a while. Wanted to start reviewing it. Market's been dog shit. Wanted to kind of talk about the patterns and whatever. But hopefully tomorrow is a lot better. Probably not. Probably not. But we have tariffs next week as well. So who knows what the market's going to do. But hopefully sometime soon we start to get better bullish runs and not this dog shit. So peace.